Good evening. On behalf of Podium Platform, UniversitiesPress, and Taj Krishna, I welcome all of you to the release of the book, Squaring the Circle. Professor Arun Tiwari is a former missile scientist who has worked with the US Healthcare Private Limited. He is also the co-author of Dr. Abdul Kalam Banyan, Director of Research, LV Prasad Eye Institute, for joining us this evening. I also welcome our distinguished audience, media representatives, my colleagues and friends. Today, we celebrate a proud milestone, achieving a sale of over 1 million and published by UniversitiesPress. The inspiration to write the book, Squaring the Circle, 7 Steps to Indian Renaissance, came to Dr. Kalam in the form of Tony Judd's words, "Something is profoundly wrong with the way we live today." Through a series of conversations with Professor Tiwari, Dr. Kalam ponders over what ails our country at the systemic and individual levels. He calls for a revolution, urging us, the people of India, to take our destinies into our own hands and work towards building a strong and secure nation. I now request Professor Tiwari to say a few words about the book Wings of Fire. Thank you.
Green pilgrimage, as recorded in the Hindu in the 21st July 2002 issue. Wings of Fire has been translated into 13 Indian languages. I am keen to name the languages. It's not very common that books is translated into 13 Indian languages. Hindi, Gujarati, Oriya, Kannada, Singhala, Telugu, Urdu, Punjabi, Assamese, Malayalam, Tamil, Marathi, and Bengali. Wings of Fire has also been translated in 6 foreign languages: Chinese, Chinese, Russian, French, Korean, Thai, and Arabic. An audiobook and a Braille edition have also been published. There is going to be a World Book Fair, the first World Book Fair of Sharjah very soon, and the king is going to, he has invited Dr. Kalam to release the Arabic version of Wings of Fire. It's 14th year of that book. And after the 14 years, if a book can capture the fancy of a king and invite Indian author to inaugurate the International Book Fair, the first of its kind in this country, it is something which is unbelievable, but it is happening. Wings of Fire has been widely reviewed in almost all national and many international newspapers and magazines. I would be sounding pompous to quote the praise the book has received, but must mention Mr. Bhavani Prasad Chattopadhyay, who wrote in the Statesman, a book worth its weight in gold. He said so in March 1999, and his words have proved so very right in the years that followed. Portions of the book have been included in school textbooks, and more than a dozen universities have made it a part of their syllabus in literature and humanities. The book is quoted very widely on the internet and by very learned people in their writings and speeches. But besides this worldly success, the book turned out to be a beacon of hope for thousands of readers in despair. We have received hundreds of letters from readers who found hope and inspiration to overcome their problems and succeed in their pursuits. that we put on record that Dr. Kalam was most hesitant to write this book when I first requested him to share his life with readers. He made me wait for 2 years to start this book. And my RCI colleagues are here. Meet me next month, meet me after 2 months. But because I was working with him, so I was always there after 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and after 2 years, finally he did, and we started writing the book, and it took about 5 years for us to write. Despite our shortcoming as professional authors, none of us have written a book before that. It is our first book. We are delighted that the book has found record in readers across age groups and professions and continues to be widely read more than 13 years since its first publication. Today, Dr. Kalam is a renowned author with several books to his credit, and yet Wings of Fire remains the most scintillating jewel in his well-decorated literary crown. For me, being his co-author, once again, for the book Squaring the Circle is the best reward I can imagine. Today, on the occasion to celebrate the 1 million milestone of Wings of Fire and launch of Squaring the Circle in the presence of a distinguished gathering, I feel a deep sense of humility and fulfillment. May I, on behalf of countless readers of Wings of Fire and our publishers, University Press, extend a big thank you to Dr. Kalam and invite him to share his thoughts on the new book, Squaring the Circle, 7 Steps to Indian Renaissance. May I present Dr. Kalam.
I have, it's indeed a very important day for us, August like this, because when you see million copies and different languages translated, it gives a lot of satisfaction. The most importantly, it has reached all sections of the people. Children, housewives, and experienced people. The type of communication we have received is unimaginable. That itself can become a book. So one day we will attempt that. So friends, this I would like to greet my friend Dr. D. Balasubramanian, Director of Research at UniversitiesPress Institute. He has critically seen Squaring the Circle, and my friend Professor Arun Tiwari, and our great publisher Madhur Reddy, and distinguished guests. Friends, how we started Squaring the Circle is a title, something intriguing, is not the title, Squaring the Circle. You know, when we started the program in Hyderabad, missile program, there are a number of projects. Everywhere we need a unique solution, difficult solution sometimes. Out of hundreds of people that you work with, they are unique. They square the circle. Squaring the circle means they can take up a challenge. You know, when you put a circle, put a square inside, the whole area of the circle, you cannot encompass in the square. Always there will be a problem there. So I used to say, this guy, Arun Tiwari, is squaring the circle fellow, means he can solve the problem. That's the meaning of it. So friends, when I thought of giving an introduction. You want to hear an introduction? Want to hear? Okay. You were waiting for some time. Friends, when I retreated from the cave of Socrates, I visited Athens. I realized I have a message to convey to my people, all of you, from various parts of the country, emanating from the four great souls who lived on this earth in different phase of times and enlightened the world with their knowledge and sacrificing their lives. What's the message I got after discussion with them? The epilogue is written. The message is humanity needs a great vision to forego all the conflicts and move towards a common goal of peace and prosperity for every human being. We foresee the birth of a world vision leading to livable planet Earth. The message in the book, last chapter, deals with the livable planet Earth. This vision will be the greater than any other goal ever aspired by the humanity. This is what we have put in the page 6. This message is articulated in the book Squaring the Circle by me, my friend Arun. It is not fully developed for its beyond us because it's a dialogue. The whole book is in dialogue form. The idea is you can participate in the dialogue. Every reader can participate in the dialogue. So that's why we have written the dialogue form, the full of conflicts and ideas and thoughts we have represented. Wherever possible we have concluded that we can discuss. I am setting a ball rolling and I hope you will all move it forward. Now friends, if you ask me, what the big message out of this Squaring the Circle book, I am going to give, the message is vision propels the nation. Vision propels the nation. Friends, civilization and nation suffered heavily or lost its identity only because the leaders of the nation or civilization did not foresee the necessity of vision at the right time. There is a saying, nation without vision dies. Squaring the Circle runs the message that the parliament has to have a great function of evolution of vision for the nation for 10 years and lead the nation to work towards the vision. In fact, the vision directs the nation, directs people, and all the problems cropping up will have less impact because people are busy with the nation building. It is remembered that youth could not be inspired or have a goal in life other than national vision. I have met so far 50 million youth the last 12 years. I can see in their eyes that they are longing for a great vision for the nation. I am sure our parliament and the members of the parliament discuss matters of importance without any hindrance, so that the respect of our political leaders is raised in the minds of our people, particularly the youth. Also in this book, the various places we highlighted with the examples, how our unobstructed parliament discussion would have avoided the people's unrest. For example, corruption issues, national vision, turbulence of the youth. The Squaring the Circle gives the solution how important parliament is, how important parliament is, and take proactive action for the national issues. Parliament should take proactive actions. Particularly, it is very important in the environment present of social media. Social media has a tremendous effect on the minds of the youth, and also is a very fast group. Parliament has recognized the importance of the social media. Now friends, I have talked in Parliament, I have brought up in this book also, the nation, the development politics. In this book we have highlighted the results of the development politics. I have already defined political system is equal to political politics plus a developmental politics. These books bring out some of the results of the development politics, particularly in the states like Kerala, Delhi, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Bihar. Another point highlighted is a community pyramid of happy, prosperous and peaceful society. We have developed a radar called developmental radar, which gives the progress of attributes like food and nutrition, access to water, both potable and irrigation, access to healthcare like this. We have brought out these targets and current status and medium target, and also long-term target, the specific schedule for each attribute that will get a societal developmental radar. Now, a lot of discussion in this book we have done. We have seen 7 steps for Indian Renaissance. One of them is fostering the social enterprise. The instrument for social enterprise is indeed a proven system, providing amenities to rural area. India needs 7,000 puras to transform 600,000 villages, prosperous and happy asset of the nation. Puras is indeed the only system with focus of sustained development. We have discussed this in detail, squaring the circle. Now finally I am concluding with, we are concluding the evolution of a good human being. What is the definition of a good human being? We have defined the ideal human being is one for whom individuality is merely an external form, but whose inward reality confirms the universe itself. An ideal human being is like a mirror in which divine attributes are reflected without distortion. What the message to the readers of the book Squaring the Circle, the message of small poem form we have given, O Almighty, lead us to peace, peace with vision, mission with strength, strength with patience, patience with gratitude for all those who crossed our path to help and fight. You are on both sides. So friends, this is our message. And now I would like to hear my friend his thoughts and ideas, then we have a discussion.
Dr. Tiwari.
All the time.
He will release it. Wait, let him also read. Yeah. Engineers and teachers, writers work for themselves and are thus self-centered and selfish. Yes, this is his 13th book. The very first book is called Developments in Fluid Mechanics and Space Technology by APJ Abdul Kalam and Rodam Narasimha, published by the Academy of Sciences in 1988. Not of general purpose interest, it's a technical. Then it followed with India 2020, a vision for the new millennium. And then the million-copy seller, Wings of Fire. That was followed by Ignited Minds, The Luminous Sparks, Mission India, Inspiring Thoughts, Indomitable Spirit, Envisioning an Empowered Nation, You are born to blossom, not for himself. And yet you notice in today's book release, the title itself is intriguing and challenging. All the others that I read were all one that inspired people. This intrigues people. That's very important. And the title itself is intriguing. Squaring the circle. It's been thought to be impossible from the days of the Greek scholars and mathematicians of India. Since it demands the use, you cannot square the circle. Geometrically, since it demands the use of the square root of pi, pi happens to be a transcendental number or irrational number, as he says. Philosophers have thought about it, Mathematicians have thought about it, and it continues to be a challenge. Dante, not Inferno, but Paradiso, wrote about this. As the geometer his mind applies, to square the circle, nor all his wit finds the right formula, however he tries. Alexander Pope, in 1743, in his poem, wrote, "Mad Mathesis alone was unconfined, too mad for mere material chains to bind. Now to pure space lifts her ecstatic stare, now running round the circle, finds it square." So what is Dr. Kalam asking? I must thank Madhu Reddy. He gave me the book well ahead of time so I could do my homework. He challenges us in a more everyday, non-mathematical sense. This is akin to the Latin proverb, "Aut inveniam viam aut artium." I will either find a way or make one. If I don't see a way, I'll go ahead and make one. This is the challenge he's asking us. Note too, the style of the book. Unlike all the others, this is more a dialogue between him and Dr. Tiwari. It's Upanishadic, as they have written. It's also Socratic, because the thought seems to have occurred to Dr. Kalam, and you're sitting in that cave, standing in that cave, where actually Socrates once was. And I think it's particularly important that such a book comes in today, because in an atmosphere that is clouded with negativity, he is a positivist. He is not a logical positivist. Logical positivism is one where they reject everything else except what is experimentally verifiable, rather than personal experience. That's logical positivism. Kalam positivism, on the other hand, blends personal experience, blends science and faith, belief and verification seamlessly together. He believes that all are created equal. There are only minuscule differences in the DNA between any one of us and any one of you. The kind that doesn't affect the mind or imagination in any significant manner. The entire book is a question-answer. And the questions are equally challenging. Oftentimes, the question that Dr. Tiwari asks leads Dr. Kalam to go a little out, to venture to newer paths, and then attempt to see if he has answered the question. Tiwari isn't satisfied. He repeats the question. He reposes the question in a different manner. So it's really battle of equals that comes about here. Hence the idea of igniting minds. If you ignite the mind, you challenge it to square the circle. He asks questions and poses issues worth thinking about. You know, in 2004, when Dr. Kalam was the president, Dr. Manmohan Singh was the prime minister, one of my friends in Trieste, Italy said, you know something significant, unusual, unique about India? The only country where both the prime minister and the president can solve differential equations. So we come and we read and we support and we look to people like Dr. Kalam. He just now mentioned about Pura, the provision of urban amenities to the rural people. What does it mean? It means a villager becomes a better villager, more equipped villager. over a town. Town comes to the village. Once again, it is squaring the circle, Dr. What's a circle? It's a circle of existence. What's a square? I need to read the last page 226 and 227, where they actually pose this question for us. You're on both sides. When we accept that everything is unified and we realize just by personal experience, the veil lifts and we perceive everything just as it is, unfolding with a purpose. We cross the bridge into an experience which we consistently receive all we need and require. I witness the universe taking care of me, and oh my dear reader, if you're alert, you will too. May you and your children live in a developed India. Amen. Thank you, Dr.
From the first page to last page, and it is indeed a discussion board. Anyone can enter the discussion, so that's why we have not closed our discussion. It's a continuous process. Yes. Yes.
I have not read the book Square in a Second. Definitely you must have written a very nice way how to square the circle. But I want a small question from you. You have squared the circles. Can we square our politician to bring our country to a new path?
Well, it's a challenge. I can only say it's a challenge. We have indicated there one of the challenges is I have defined politics equal to political politics plus developmental politics. Political politics, naturally every politician has to do to get elected for the parliament as well as the legislative assemblies. Development politics, they concentrate on the development of the particular constituency for which they have been elected. Now, normally throughout the world, the development politics you have to work for 70% of the time, 30% of the time you have to work for developmental politics, political politics. In our country, it works. So I have requested in my book that we have switched over to 70%. Probably that's, it also depends on the electoral, that is, when you are electing the members, you have to be also sure that whether he or she can do the developmental politics. We cannot disown our responsibility also. Yes.
Sir, I am Ramana Rao. It seems I haven't read this book Square in the Circle, but what I gather from the brief introduction here about the book, it seems that you are rejecting the Western model of development. And are you suggesting that we should go back to, not go back, but suggesting to go to Gandhian model of development, rural development? Is that what it contains, or is it different to what Gandhi said?
No, throughout the book we are trying to see what is the best. It is not, I am not finding any particular route or anything like that. But definitely India has got 600,000 villages, and where 700 million, 70% of the people live. So only we need a sustainable development system. The sustained development system is indeed the Pura means providing urban amenities rural area. There are a number of places being done, number of states is being done. Now government also adopted with the modified Puras For every district they have planned to establish that one. But it will be an urgency. There's an urgency. 7,000 crores should be pushed. That will become an economic pusher. Our GDP is 6%. By rural development, intensity rural development, multiple industry, small industry also will come there. So it will be what is Pura? Pura means providing urban and rural area, give the physical connectivity of cluster villages, and you give the electronic connectivity to the cluster villages, you give the economic connectivity of cluster villages. That's the idea. Yes. Yes, sir? Go ahead.
Good evening, sir. My name is Ashish, and I have a question from your book from the past on your 2020 vision.
2020 vision.
Yes.
Not too. Okay.
Because I have not yet read this.
Okay.
Sir, for getting these targets of 2020 that we envision, do you sustain, do you see that our model of democracy, of following the Westminster style of democracy would suffice?
No, I have this. It was designed. The India 2020 vision designed 1997, and by Technology Information Forecasting Council, there are about 20 members of council members. There are 500 members were consulted in this, and the document 20 volumes of document has come out. And this was announced in the parliament by the previous government also. So one assumption we made there is the GDP growth should be 8 to 9% for 10 years should be there. But after 2008 it was doing all right. And then after 2008, because it was when I got down problem, European economic problem, our GDP also come down to 5.5% now. So with the democracy system what we are having, this 5.5 should graduate to 8. I hope next year we hope such thing happen. If we maintain for next 7-8 years, definitely it is possible India 2020.
Good evening, sir. I'm Hari. My question is regarding, we are living in a country where we have two different sections of societies. One which is very privileged, though the small number, the other section is very underprivileged. The gradient is not uniform across the society, that's what I feel. But the fact is, the section, the smaller section, which is holding the highest amount of resources, no matter what it is, financial resources, political power, and because the gradient is not uniform across the society, how do you see, unless there is a support from the upper section of society, how do you think that the uniformity will be brought into the system?
I don't think upper society, lower society question will come in. But what is important is, you are electing the members for parliament. You are electing members of legislative assembly. That means you have a certain responsibility. You have got a responsibility electing the right type of people at the right time. Okay? It is not upper society will do or lower society will do. But answer to your question, the providing urban amenities rural area, there is a sustainable development model. That model will try to see that 600 million people of rural villages, 600,000 villages, 600,000 villages and 700 million people live there. That will, they can uplift it with the capacity. Because the employment potential will increase there. There the equality will balance. That's my feeling. Yes, sir.
In relation to this coming the cluster of connectivity of the villages and bringing a sustainable model, one of the solutions that we look, based on your advice in the past, we create a demographic model, take one district as the headquarter and the villages related to that, and find the population of that area, and where this much is for the housing, this much for the irrigation, this is for the industry, and that way we come up with we can foresee next 10 years that if we have increase in population for 30%, what downfalls can be there, and can create some sort of visibility in those types of models for dividing nation into small companies model, and then create a CEO, and then every, like in India, I don't know what the model we have a mayor or whoever, then he can be the responsible to the state federal government and giving the complete productivity report, and then corruption can come down, productivity can go up, people can uplift their education standards, more exposure to the villages for better irrigations, more technologies. So maybe we have to come up with a distributed model and then centralize at one point where we can't have a clear visibility of that.
I have one point I want to convey. You know, when we said the cluster of villages, it is a population 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 clusters. How do you connect the villages? Core competence of the villages. By each village, maybe some fishing village, sometimes agriculture, sometimes the craftsmanship will be there, sometimes tourism will be there. So we are trying to cluster such villages so that capacity building will be there. Pura, providing urban and rural area, it is not looking at the population. Population growth should come in when education and healthcare becomes a very important parameter in Pura. But most importantly, how do you build the capacity of the earning capacity of the family members? Once you do the earning capacity of the family members, education, healthcare will automatically get pushed by the family. So that's the idea. Now, your idea is the population, put a factor in the population. Naturally, population comes in. Because when you say, for example, in the tribal areas, you can't get 20,000 people per 50 villages. It will be small numbers. So the population will oscillate. A population, depending upon the type of terrain, it will be oscillating. So that's your thoughts. You may write to me. I will also look at it.
One more question, sir.
So good evening, sir. I am Usha Rani, an educationist. In the name of the rural connectivity, the technical education is introduced by All India Council of Technical Education by HRD Ministry. By the time the self-financed education institutions are sparing the circle to improve themselves and to spread the message of education, and the government is changing its policies.
Well, I don't know exactly what is the exact problem.
So
what is Pura means, it doesn't talk about only a communication and education alone. It's an integrated system of physical connectivity, electronic connectivity, knowledge connectivity, leading to economic connectivity. So it's an integrated system. It's a 20, 30 village. It doesn't look at individual problems.
Technical education.
Next question.
Sir, hypothetically, it's very interesting to know about development and all that in a society which is riddled by babu culture, red tapeism, and money and muscle power. Where do you start the circle? How do you overcome all these hurdles in order to complete the circle?
Will you repeat with me what I'm going to say? Will you repeat with me? Get up, get up, get up.
Sure.
You get up, get up. You will repeat with me where there is righteousness in the heart.
Righteousness in the heart.
There is beauty in the character.
The vision and all these things. As we have the problems, as well as we have the solutions also. And people like you are presenting the alternative models for all these things. But lacking the decline of the quality leadership, don't you think is the root problem for all these things? And the weak governance and the weak leadership, with the weak leadership, can we achieve these things?
Now, see, I want to tell you something. I had a professor, Satish Thakur. He gave me a big project. That project, I was hesitating to accept the project, whether I can do it in 7 years' time with the given money, given time schedule. I could answer immediately when the project was offered. Then he gave an advice. Advice is, when you do a big problem, national problem, there will be always national project, there will be always some problem. But you don't make the problem as your captain. You should become the captain of the problem, defeat the problem and succeed. So, what I'm saying, I agree, the leadership, you are thinking about the leadership questions what you are having. But that is the democracy, you have to elect the right type of people. When you don't miss that, you miss the game. That's why I'm saying there is something happening in the country, what's called developmental politics. Some states, they have to do the developmental politics, that leaders again they are elected. So there is a good situation is coming in. That may be a good example for the general election. Okay?
I have a question, sir. I'm Professor Satyakiran. So there is no gainsaying the fact that we are living in very confusing, volatile times. And it's no wonder that the youth of India seem very cynical. Are you as cynical as we are? And what's your one key takeaway message for the youth of India?
My youth of India, I have a message for them. The message is, they must have a, number one message is they must have a great aim in life. Okay? The second one, continuously they have to acquire the knowledge to meet that aim. Third one, continued hard work. Fourth one, perseverance. They should not be afraid of the problem, defeat the problem and succeed. These are the four qualities for all the young people I advise wherever I meet them. I met them 15 million youth in the country.
The book Squaring the Circle is about politics or challenge?
Well, it talks about politics, it talks about technology, it talks about management, it talks about leadership, creative leadership. Very important leadership is needed. So, you would like to answer
This book is about the belief that you are a unique fellow born on this earth, and you don't become a copy of so many others around you. This book is about that. You are a unique.
I'm sure all of you are highly invigorated after this very, very inspiring address by Dr. Kalam. On behalf of Taj Mahal Hotels and Korean Black Swan, we'd all like to thank you all for attending this grand event. And I'd like to personally thank His Excellency former President of India, Shri Abdul Kalam, for honoring us today, sir, with your presence. And also Dr. Balasubramaniam, along with Professor Anandarari, for gracing the occasion. Thank you. I hope you, in our own ways, find a solution to squaring the circle. Thank you, and have a nice day.
You want to say just? Please.
Thank you. Right on time. Thank you.